What's up guys, it's Minereepers and today I bring you a new MineZ 2 video. In this video, Mosh and I will be talking about the different survivor stories as well as MineZ 2's history as a whole. Now, before I start, I just wanted to explain why I haven't really posted any MineZ 2 content for a while. In my opinion, MineZ 2 is just a lot more grindy than MineZ 1. Which some people really like, but I'm not really one of those people. For me, there's nothing worse than to spend hours on end getting full pristine iron just to have a pigman bite you in the butt and lose it all. So that's why I kind of stayed clear from MineZ 2. However, about a week ago, Moshburger asked me to go with him to Ascendia to try and find the dungeon that some people were talking about. And meanwhile, he was going to be documenting the lore in Ascendia for the MineZ 2 wiki. It was at this time that I truly remembered how fun it was to find all the secrets and hidden stories throughout MineZ 2, which is what brought me to this video. So now, without further ado, I bring to you guys MineZ 2's lore and history. To start off this series, we will have to travel to the modest town of Samish. On the west side of the town, there's a house with boarded up windows. Inside, there's a lore block that contains Halg's note, which reads, "There is salvation in the mountains. I've heard of a place, a castle of some sorts." From this we can gather a few things. First, that the zombie plague had already reached Samish. Second, that there has been rumors going around of a castle that's safe in the mountains. This narrows our search dramatically. The only options I was able to find were Castle Zech and Castle Druin. So you can imagine that either way, Halg had to travel northeast, which leads us to Narenji. On the south side of the town, there's another lore block with Halg's second note. I talked with another survivor briefly. He gave me these coordinates from Helia. I can't make any sense of them, but maybe someone else can. These coordinates strengthen the theory that he was headed to Castle Druin. However, these coordinates literally lead to nothing on the surface. However, if you look on the MineZ map, you can see that there's a cave system that goes just about underneath the coordinates. Unfortunately, that part of the cave system is blocked off by giant walls. Trust me, I spent like 3 hours looking for another entrance in, and I couldn't really find one. So my only guess is that the cave system underneath Castle Druin isn't ready yet, and it will be released with a future MineZ 2 update, and then we'll have more to this story. So that's all there is really to Halg's story at the moment. So now we will be moving on to our next story, Ferghus' story. To start this story, we will be heading to a mid-map location called Mining Site, a location that's placed on a few mountains. In the northern house, we have a lore block which contains Miner's Journal, written by Ferghus, which says, "Just what the hell is going on? A few months ago we started receiving loads of orders for stone and iron, and now there have been no orders for weeks. On top of that, our food guy is a whole month late. I can't imagine anything bad happened to him. The guy is sturdier than a golem. I get an uneasy feeling when I think about it. Shit, I bet we've got bandits or something. I'll be rounding up a few of the boys for a restock run to Daryl in the southeast. Maybe if we make a lot of noise and dress like merchants, they'll try to rob us. They'll be in for a hell of a surprise when a bunch of burly miners cleave their skulls open." So from this, I think we can all tell that the zombie plague didn't reach the mountainous regions in which Ferghus is at. What likely happened was that the northern and southern towns and cities were starting to defend themselves against the zombies, and thus they needed more stone and iron to help out. But then, only a few weeks later, the towns got overrun. Since there was no better form of communication, the old man thought that they had to deal with bandits, and thus, along with a few of his buddies, headed southeast for a restock of food. Heading south now, and a bit east, we now enter the cave system, to a place called Ferghus's grave. Yeah, it seems like this old miner died. This is what the lore block had to say. Ode to Ferghus. This is the final resting place of the beloved and clumsy smith Ferghus. He had a long, successful career making weapons and armor that would be used by heroes. He was very generous, his prices were cheap, and he was always willing to offer tips to beginners. Unfortunately, he was so clumsy that he broke nearly everything he touched. His steel wasn't legendary, and nobody sings songs of his heroism. But his persistence and kindness will be remembered forever. I think that was supposed to say remembered, but rest in peace, you clumsy old man. So, as you can see, Ferghus never made it back to his mountain mine. Randall buried him and left a note behind so that everyone who comes across his grave will know who he really was.
Going north now, here we have Manchester House. Subtly located in the woods near Terramanfit. The lore here is located at the topmost area of the house and was written by a scholar, presumably one from Terramanfit due to its proximity. It describes the history of the house and its owners. It's been years since I found this place, and curiosity has eaten away at me every day since. I've only found bits and pieces, rumours of how and why this place was built. From what I've uncovered, I can put together a rough story. This is Manchester House, built and owned by a married couple, both of whom were expert carpenters. This was their home and hobby. They spent years expanding it and filling it with things they found in their travels. The carpenters were kind and accommodating to anyone who visited the home, making it a haven for travellers and vagrants. Oddly enough, all those whom I've spoken to about their stay here said they felt uneasy about it, despite the couple's kindness. This continued until the husband disappeared. Nobody seems to know what happened to him, but after he left, the remaining carpenters started building relentlessly. Most of the place is built like a labyrinth, the doors that lead to sheer drops, chairs strewn everywhere, the rooms that serve no purpose. This room is probably one of the most bizarre. It's secluded from the rest of the house, as if something was meant to be hidden here. None of the books in this room seem to be written in a language I can decipher either. I spent days in these halls looking for answers. Quite sure I've checked every room many times, every part of the house, except for the basement. The hall of Manchester House is thoroughly unsettling, and I feel more undone by the day with the basement. I can't quite put into words the feeling, but I experience an overwhelming sense of dread when I gaze down the stairs. Maybe it's better this place was forgotten, but I've come this far. The basement described in the story is a maze dungeon, with incoherent flooring, staircases, and a lack of direction. This location seems to be based off the Winchester House in California.
You're right, Mosh. This really does seem to be based off of the Winchester House. So much so that we asked Goldblade if he got inspiration from the Winchester House, and he said yeah, he did. Which is really cool because he took a real story of the Winchester house and mended it and changed it to suit MineZ 2 more and made it more original, which was just crazy. Like, I was blown away by this dungeon and everything, and it, like, its backstory and everything. I thought it was really interesting, which is why we made a video out of it. But I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. So I hope you guys really enjoyed, like, really, because I spent probably a good, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours editing, scripting, and filming, and everything that had to go into making this video. So I don't know if I'll make another one, unless if you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like, and I will definitely work my ass off to make you guys feel better. I don't know. But thanks so much to Moshburger / Mosh Von Void, because he helped me so much in this video, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without him. So thanks a lot to him. But I think that's it for today, guys. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm gonna go to sleep now because I'm tired, and I don't know, just remember to join the MR Nation today by subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya!